Hey YouTube, this is Kevin Boland of Boland Small Engine, and today guys, if you've been watching the videos that I've posted, you're realizing that I'm potentially challenging myself to make a fire completely with nothing more than Chert as a cutting tool for a bow drill set. Now guys, as you can imagine, I'm pretty winded. I have been doing this by hand, and yes, I know you're going to see a knife, I know you're going to see the saw, but you're going to see that I did not use the knife or the saw in any way to make this set. And I still liken the bow and a handhold, but I'll find a rock easily for that, as well as a green limb. Possibly, maybe even, I have chose a candidate here, that one right there, maybe. But anyway, I wanted to show you in this video the difference between people that basically pose, okay, and the people that actually have owned the skill. You're going to find that a lot of people will tell you that they are capable, shall we say, of making a bow drill off the land, and they will use a knife instead of using the primitive means from which that I'm challenging myself today. The reason that I'm showing you guys this video is so that you can see with your own eyes the differences between a knife cut and potentially a piece of chert. Now guys, I'm going to squat down here and I'm going to show you the tools that I use in order to make these particular types of sets. This set is 100% broken and carved out of chert. I'm going to hold the hearthboard up here and show you. As you can clearly see, and I'll zoom in here, there are no knife cuts on this board whatsoever. This is all 100% done with chert and a sanding stone. I'm hoping those little small scratches and indentations are showing up on camera, because if they are, you guys are going to see that there's no clean cuts on this board, because honestly you can't take a piece of chert and truly get a really clean cut, contrary to what people might tell you. Now granted, okay, you can sharpen the chert and nap it, shall we say, and get a fairly smooth clean edge, but it will never truly be straight like that of a knife. You'll always have a little scratch, a little indentation in the wood. I am yet to ever see anyone that's made a bow drill set that actually had clean cuts from chert. I'm not saying that it's not possible, but highly unlikely, guys. Let's say that. So as you guys can see on this board, you can see the little small scratches and indentations of the chert where I've applied it and used it to cut out this set. Hopefully the spindle will be able to show you too. Yeah, I think the spindle is actually showing you a little better in regards to what I'm talking about. So I want you guys to note that ideally you don't want cracks in your spindle. You really don't want knots either. But this is what I had to work with. So I'm making the best out of a bad situation. I know this is going to work. I've done many of these in the past, so there's no question that this set's going to work. Is it ideal? Absolutely not, okay? But it will work. Now guys, the chert that I'm using is typically found on the creeks, fairly easy here in Kentucky. This is potentially the type of chert that I'm using. Of course, I got to be honest guys, this isn't the only piece that I've been using. I've also been using a sanding stone, which you guys can see right here, and of course this piece of chert right here that I've done 90% of the work with. I've used it so much I've actually dulled the edges, but it's working very well for me. Now, as I said, I still have to make the bow, and I still have to make the handhold, which I'm going to make out of a stone. I also want to note, guys, that I did not make this set, okay, in any 30 minutes. Okay, if you're thinking you can do this in 30 minutes, then you're really gifted. Let's put it that way. Especially with a piece of chert. All right, it's simply not that simple. Honestly, I have been here for, I'm estimating, well over an hour and a half, and I haven't even really checked. Okay, guys, that's just an estimate. It could be well longer, but I just wanted to show you guys the differences between chert cuts and an actual knife. And as a comparison, I'm going to take this limb and I'm going to cut it with a knife, and you're going to see that the knife gives a really clean cut compared to the chert. I'm going to go ahead and set the camera down at the moment to show you guys this. Alright guys, as you can see, hopefully, the camera will zoom in, there's no real lines in this, okay? It's smooth, somewhat smooth. Don't get me wrong, it's a little doty, it's a little soft if you will, but there's no real lines in this piece of wood that I've just cut on with a knife. And of course guys, this is the bobcat that you've seen in a prior video that I forged. It does an excellent job. Now, as I said, it was not used in any way for this set. Believe it or not, not even to cut the hearthboard down, okay? I actually broke it. As you guys will be able to see, I'm going to show you these sticks right here. And of course, you can see the ones, I'll zoom in, that are over here. All those sticks were potentially broken, okay? There was nothing sawed off. Now, as you can imagine, I have a lot of work ahead of me. I'm going to go ahead and end this video at this point. And in the next video, hopefully you guys will see that I have made a bow and potentially found a candidate for a handhold. Until the next video, YouTubers.